You're listening to The Sports Moment. Part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
The Minnesota Gopher women's basketball team is going to play for the WNIT title on Saturday. That's right, last night the Gopher women defeated Troy 74-69 in the semifinals. They will now face the St. Louis Billikens for the WNIT title. The Gophers improved to 20-15 on the season. And what balance. They had 4 players in double figures. Amaya Battle had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Mallory Heyer tacked on 15 points, 9 rebounds. Sophie Hart chipped in a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds. And Grace Grikulski added 11 points, including a late Game 3 that put Minnesota up by 4 points with only 38 seconds remaining. Minnesota has now won 20 games in a season for the first time since 2018-2019 when they went 21-11 and advanced to the second round of the WNIT. So the Lady Gophers will now play the St. Louis Billikens for the championship, and that will be on Saturday night as the Billikens won their game 57-54 over the Vermont Catamounts in the other semifinal contest on Wednesday night. Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves got it done big time. They knocked off Toronto 133-85 last night. Anthony Edwards had 28 points. Naz Reid added 23. And the Timberwolves are now tied with the Denver Nuggets for first place in the Western Conference of the NBA. Rudy Gobert, 11 points, 15 rebounds for Minnesota. And their 48-point win marked its largest margin of victory this season. And with only 6 games remaining for both the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, they are dead even, a game up on Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma City also with 6 games remaining on the schedule. The 48-point loss, by the way, the largest in Toronto Raptors franchise history. Timberwolves will be at Phoenix on Friday night for their next game. Well, Pemberton Law Firm is one of the sponsors of our podcast. We appreciate that. They have offices in Fergus Falls, Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Alexandria. And you can visit them online also at pemlaw.com. Pemberton Law carries a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation dating back to 1883. Of course, Lake Area Docks and Lifts is going to be excited for the early summer, as you are, I'm sure, and they offer premium waterfront equipment sales, service, and installation. Best quality and service at the best prices. Just ask your neighbor at the lake about Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
The Minnesota Twins rallied to defeat the Milwaukee Brewers 7-3 in the series finale. They had only 2 games in Milwaukee, but came back from that 3-2 loss on Tuesday to get the 7-3 win yesterday. How about Ryan Jeffers? He had a 3-run homer to give the Twins the lead. He knocked in 4 runs in the game, and his 3-run shot capped a 5-run 7th-inning comeback by the Twins. Minnesota's Alex Kirilloff went 4 for 4. He had a couple of singles, a double, and a triple in the game. And the Twins are now 3-2 as they have their first home series of the year. 3 games with the Cleveland Guardians starting this afternoon. Scheduled starters for the home opener are Pablo Lopez, a right-hander who got a win in his first outing against Kansas City back last Thursday, and it will be Tanner Bybee going for the Guardians in the opener. The Twins and Guardians have a day off tomorrow. Then they play games on Saturday and Sunday afternoons to close out that first home series for the Minnesota Twins. Well, and it looks like softball and baseball games are going to get started next week in our area as the warm-up and the wind has really helped dry out the fields and get them in playing condition. Now, today, the Fergus Falls track and field teams are going to be hosting the Harrington Classic in honor of Terry Harrington, the longtime coach in the track and field program. We've got a number of teams coming in, area teams for the competition beginning at 3 o'clock today. And that's down at the Fergus Falls track, and that's in great shape, too. They've got another home meet coming up next Tuesday, and the Central Lakes Conference meet at St. Cloud is on Saturday. So they're busy right now with a lot of action on the local schedule. And, of course, with the winter season over, the awards are being handed out, and the West Central Area Knights, who had just an outstanding basketball season, qualifying for their first ever state tournament, winning the West Central Conference Championship with a 12-2 conference mark, 2 wins better than Montevideo and Sauk Center. And the all-conference recognition awards have been handed out, and the Knights have seniors Camden Anderson, Bryce Chesbo, and Mitch Dewey, joined by junior Ben Bai on the all-conference team, while senior Naz Dotz and junior Sam Hansen attained honorable mention all-conference status. Senior Jay Newbert of Sauk Center was named the West Central Conference Most Valuable Players. So congratulations to all of the award winners for the Knights and their outstanding basketball season that completed with that state tournament run down in the Twin Cities. Also want to congratulate members of the Hillcrest Girls Basketball team as they had their awards night, and a lot of awards handed out here for the Comet Girls, who had the best record in program history. The Comet Girls were 21-7, the most wins in the history of their program. They finished third in a very tough Little 8 conference with a record of 14-4. Ella Knutson and Elsa Retzlaff were selected as first-team all-conference players, and Ruby Peterson was selected as second-team all-conference. Elsa Retzlaff was named the hardest worker. Caitlin Olstead was the most improved player on the team. Stella Moline earned the Coaches Award. Ella Knutson was the offensive MVP, and Ruby Peterson was the defensive MVP. Some individual single-game records that were achieved by the Comets this year included the most points in a game, 35 by Ella Knutson, the most assists in a game, 10 by Ruby Peterson, and the most three-point shots made in a game, 7 by Elsa Retzlaff. Individual season records included most points in a season, 539 by Ella Knutson, most assists in a season, 100 by Ruby Peterson, most steals in a season, 123 by Ruby Peterson, and most three-point shots made in a season, 68 by Elsa Retzlaff. Individual career records included the all-time leading scorer, Ella Knutson, with 1,243 points. Ella also became the all-time leading rebounder with 816, and the all-time leading assist leader as well with 236. Ruby Peterson has the individual career record for most three-point shots made in a career with 133. Congratulations to Hannah Clark and her Comet Girls on what was an outstanding season of girls basketball at Hillcrest Lutheran Academy. Also, the Fergus Falls boys hockey team held their hockey awards banquet recently, and they had Kellen Stenstrom honored as the recipient of the Anderson Lake MVP Award. Stenstrom moved into fourth place on the all-time scoring list with 147 points. He also set records for the fastest goal to start a period, scoring 5 seconds into a period in a game against Alexandria on February 15th and tied the mark for most goals in a game when he found the back of the net 5 times in a January 27th game against Mankato East. Roger Johnson Award winner Shane Zierden established a new record for the fastest goal to start a game when he scored 9 seconds into the December 28th game against New Ulm. Zierden and Stenstrom were named to the Central Lakes Conference All-Conference team, and they were also co-recipients of the Lee Franklin Scholarship. Leighton Buckmeyer, Jack Weldy, and Michael Schmidt were all-conference honorable mention selections. Stenstrom was also named first-team All-Section 6A, while Buckmeyer was second-team All-Section. Zierden, Weldy, and Schmidt were All-Section honorable mention choices. Other varsity awards went to Riley McGovern as Most Improved Player, Griffin Babolian, Most Inspirational Player, and the Ultimate Teammate Scholarship. Leighton Buckmeyer, the Hobie Baker Character Award winner, and Kellen Stenstrom, who was voted the Outstanding Senior. Junior varsity awards were presented to Simon McGovern as the Most Improved Player and Brant Sherman as the Most Valuable Player. Congratulations to all of the award winners. And that's it for our podcast today. Hope you'll come back and join us again tomorrow. Thanks for visiting.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson, sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.